Awesome. Thank you. Welcome to our November monthly meeting for Georgia Section ITE. My name is Christina Berry. I'm the president for 2020 because we have a jam-packed schedule this afternoon, and so I want to make sure that we get to everything. So to start off, I'd like to recognize our guests and our first-time attendees. So if you're a guest or a first-time attendee, could you please stand up? Awesome. Don't worry, we don't have time. Oh, there it goes. We don't really have time for introductions this morning, so I won't make you introduce yourselves. All right, so we're going to move into some announcements. First up, we have Jody Peace, who is going to give an announcement for SDITE 2023.
The dates are March 19th to the 22nd. It's going to be down in Savannah. So a couple things to note. One, you should all received an email last night for golf abstracts. We gave you a list of ideas there, but certainly any topics that you want. If you have any questions about technical program or other ideas, about things that you can please leave that effort up. Two other quick things. Sponsorship will be opening in the next few weeks, so go ahead and talk with your companies about that. Lots of sponsorship opportunities, and then registration will open in December. But looking forward to seeing everybody out in Savannah in a few months. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Next, we have Zong with Winter Workshop.
My voice is lower than okay. Hope everybody enjoyed the Halloween spirit last week, and also keep the Winter Workshop in mind. It will be held at the beautiful town of March 5th and 6th. I think that's first Sunday and Monday of March. The theme for the conference would be back to the future, right? Propelled by the rigor of our industry and our young professionals. We still open for volunteers and ideas, and please join the committee and be part of the crew to make another. We have some competition with SD conference as well. So, but we are still welcoming everybody, to get another great conference. Thank you.
Great. And next is Scott Zengraff and Rob Jaquette with the golf tournament.
Hey everybody, golf tournament is next Friday. I know next week is a very busy week, but registration's still open until Monday or Tuesday. Have a good time, and hope to see anybody else who can be out there. We're hoping to have a good group. Hopefully the weather stays nice. Thank you.
We have Joe Gillis with the technical committee.
Hi everyone. Looking for some people who are interested in technology, you love to collaborate, you love to solve problems. Looking for people to serve in our subcommittees for data microsimulation and connected autonomous vehicles specifically. We're looking to hopefully get one or two presentations at the Winter Workshop out of subcommittees from the technical committee. So I'd love to have any volunteers to get in touch with me and let me know if you're interested. I also want to say, is Tyler Martin here? Yes, Tyler has an announcement about our upcoming technical exchange.
The technical exchange will be on November 17th, which is a Thursday. We're going to have it with the Tennessee section, ITE. It's going to be in Chattanooga from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's at their Center for Urban Informatics and Progress, I believe the name is. Chattanooga is a pretty easy drive. We're trying to encourage people to attend in person, so if you can do that. I think there will be a virtual component, but it's not going to be like on video or anything, so we do encourage you to attend in person. So hope to see some of you there.
All right. And next we have Andrew Lewis with the Scholarship Committee.
Thank you, Christina. For the scholarship committee, the scholarship application for our student scholarship is open right now. So all of our students here competing for the traffic bowl, please look out for that. If you haven't heard about that, if you're not familiar, if you're not planning to apply, we encourage all of you to apply. If you can't find the application, my contact information is on the Georgia ITE website, listed under scholarship committee. Shoot me an email, I'll get you the application. The application closes next Sunday at midnight, so we pretty much have a week left to fill out that application. So I hope to see all of you guys here apply. Thank you.
So, and next we have an announcement from the Activities Committee. We're going to be today at the Hunger Action Center. We have 15 slots reserved. It's on Saturday, December 17th. From 1:30 to 4:30, and so if you have any questions, please contact Nate Prath. And then last up, we have Chris Maddox with the Awards and Nominations Committee.
Hey everybody, I hope y'all's day is going well. So 2 announcements. First is that the annual awards banquet and ceremony is coming up next month. It'll be back here on December 8th. Nominations are still open for our annual awards. Those close at the end of next week. So if there's anybody that you think is deserving of any of the awards or local jurisdictions or projects, please check our website and you can nominate them through the form there, or you can email me directly through the website or get in touch with anyone on the board and we get that done. Next, what we'd like to do is, give our nominees for the 2023 Georgia ITE Board a quick minute to say something about themselves and their aspirations. So please pay attention because y'all will get to vote starting November 8th to choose who will help run the organization next year. So first off, we're going to start with Robinson Nickel for president. And y'all can either stand up and speak or come up here, however y'all prefer to do it.
I'll be really brief. I've enjoyed all my time serving in ITE, and I look forward to serving again next year. Thanks.
Look out for a strong write-in, Robinson. All right, for vice president, we have Sam Harris. Sam?
All right. I won't be that brief, but I will be brief. First of all, just thank you for your consideration for the vice president role. Thank you for electing me as your secretary treasurer. It's been an honor serving in that role over this past year. If given the opportunity to be your vice president, I'm going to focus in 3 areas. Obviously, monthly meetings. I want it to be more diverse topics, more diverse locations as well. More technical training, so everyone that liked the go-kart training that I put on, it will be back for next year and maybe some other events. And also work on a more diverse membership base. That was something that came from our international, that trying to get more planners involved with our chapter. So that will also be something I'll be looking forward to. So thank you.
Thank you, Sam. We have 2 candidates up for the secretary treasurer role. The first is Christy John. Christy?
All right, thank you, Chris, and I'll be a little bit longer than that, but my name is Christy John, and my journey with ITE started back at Georgia Tech Student Chapter back in 2005, when I was asked to run for secretary back time. So 17 years fast forward, I'm running for secretary treasurer for ITE Georgia section. So let's see, for 4 or 5 years, the last 4 or 5 years, I've been volunteers in different committee members and different committee chairs activities, starting with technical committee, and I started organizing technical webinars and also reviewing GDOT guidelines for peer reviewer. And then I really got into this summer seminar business. So like starting 2018, I really enjoyed contributing to the technical program. And I became the program chair for last year. And this year I served as the conference chair for the summer seminar. On an international level, I get to work with Sam and the rest of committee chair internationally for safety committee, executive safety committee members, as well as data-driven safety analysis committee member. ITE to me feels like home. I really enjoy. Just want to be part of ITE. I mean, that's just to be honest. So I just want to continue ITE to be that kind of organization for a great presentation. You know, technical talks, for lunch meetings, fun events like K1 events. So I just want to continue to that. Especially, I want to leverage my background in both in traffic engineering and planning. And I would like to expand, contributing to expanding ITE to include more planners. ITE is uniquely positioned to bring together engineers and planners. And IT International recognized that, and their strategic goal for next year is just that, to including more planners into the community. And they just launched even recruiting campaign that any planners who wants to become a member next year, they say they will waive a new membership fee. So I want to leverage my current connections in other organizations such as Georgia Planning Association and WTS to help do that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And next up is Elizabeth Shannon. If you don't recognize the name, you may recognize her maiden name as Shaw. So come on, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I got married last year, so slight name change. Much for the nomination for Secretary Treasurer. My journey in ITE, I actually joined as after I graduated from Georgia Tech back in 2016. And I was involved in many different committees, engineering outreach, some of the technical. I helped with the winter workshop registration for a couple years. And so I'm definitely involved in helping with the marketing events and all of that. And then more recently, I went through as a graduate of the Leadership and Mentorship Program, and then co-chaired the leadership last year with John Bolin, and I'm on the Mentorship Program Committee this year, chaired by Tom Seaver. And I also have been the clerk to the board since the end of 2019. So that's been very interesting to learn how it works. And from an international perspective, early on, I joined the TISMO Executive Council, and I got to work with people across the nation, learning about that, and then working with student chapters to get them aware about TISMO and ITE, how to get involved and plugged in. And then I transitioned in 2019 to work on the Public Agency Executive Council because I work for the city of Roswell as a transportation engineer. And I do more roadway engineering, so I'm not like everyone else who's a traffic engineer here at ITE. And kind of to piggyback off of what everyone else has said, I definitely want to be able to expand our membership to more non-traffic engineers, but to roadway engineers, to planners, I definitely think that that's a market we could tap into and we could learn from each other. And from just a broader perspective too, from the international perspective of bringing in that balance between everyone within our industry. But thank you so much.
For district representative, we need Chala Banja, Dan Dobry, and Richard Fangman. So Chala, if you'd like to come up here.
Thanks, Chris. So this interesting race, three-way. We're not running against each other, we're running together. So my name is Chala Bonja with Metro Traffic. So for those who don't know me, I've been about 20 years in the industry, half between public sector and private sector during that time. And I've been a member of this body for more than 15 years, and tremendously benefit from each one of you for being part of this organization. And passion is my service is my passion, and when I was nominated, I accepted, and I don't commit to things that I don't take seriously. So when I accepted, I was going to take it seriously and make sure with that as your district representative, will be, in addition to supporting here locally with the executive leadership of the organization. And as you know, the industry is going through a lot of transformation, whether it's the connected vehicle or technology or data and all those things. And it's very important for our different sections within the district to collaborate and share experiences. And definitely Georgia has been a leading agency, and would like, we look forward to taking that to, share our lessons from the other district or sections, as well as take some of the lessons that they have, and I look forward to, and I'm very honored, and look forward to, serve you continuously, and also throughout the 15 years times, I've been, actively involved in the organization as, with the technical committees, and as, winter workshop, summer seminar. For multiple years, I've been serving on the technical committee for those programs and putting together a good technical content, and look forward to continue to, actively serving the community. So thanks so much for you, vote regardless of what you
Thank you, Chala. Is Dan Dober here? I don't know if I've seen him today. Or Richard Fangman. Richard, I will say that biographies for all of these candidates are up, or will be up on the website. All of their names are up there as well. So anyone that's not here today, if you'd like to learn more information about them, we'll have it posted up. Both would be great candidates for the position that have been involved in ITE for a long time and serving in either forms of committees and chairs, and their continued involvement. Board member at large, we've got two candidates for that one, Bill Roosman and Paul Sloan. So Bill, come on up.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill Rusum. You may know me as having been here a long time, longer than I like to think about. The board member at large is a position that was created for voting positions from ITE International, but also as a support role for the officers and other people within the ITE Georgia. It's very important that you select someone who's got a lot of good experience with both the section as well as the area, because our role is to keep the section growing, as everyone has been talking about. I did this last year and I lost, and I'll say again this year, both of the candidates would be excellent choices from you. Both Paul and I have experience in this section, and I'm giving your speech, Paul. I think you have two very good candidates. I hope you'll vote for me, because I've been working with the board for a while. Summer seminar is an excellent training tool to be part of this section, and that's it. Keeping it short. Enjoy the mushrooms.
And last up is Paul Sloan.
All right, thanks for the plug, Bill, but I will also plug Bill. Have the experience and the wisdom to help guide the board. For me personally, this is hands down the best professional organization anywhere. I'll just put that out there. And I too, I've been the officer of the Kentucky section much earlier in my career. I did the section rep a couple of years ago. I've been involved in multiple committees and involved with the LAC for 2023. And I just like being involved, is the bottom line. But either way you go, you can't lose. So, and I lost last year too. So good news, one of us gets to win this year. But yes, I'd appreciate your consideration. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. And Richard Fangman did walk in at the last minute, so he's made a good entrance. So we'll let him come up real quick and speak about his nomination for Southern District Representative.
Great. Thanks, Chris, and sorry to be late to the meeting. If I get elected as district rep, I promise I'll never be late. No, I'm just kidding. Probably will still be late to some of the meetings, but hopefully I'll be able to attend a lot. But really appreciate the honor to be invited to run. I've been involved with it since I was a student way back in 1991, and have gotten to go through the different roles of being an officer. I've done the district rep before back in 2015, so I feel like I got an idea of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish at the level here of the section, and also some of their goals of the district. And if you all elect me, I'd be really interested in trying to bring some of the great things we're doing to the district and do some of that idea sharing. My background, I do a lot in traffic engineering, but also in planning. So I do a lot of things where we're trying to, do outreach with folks. We're trying to use electronic means to coordinate and communicate, bringing us and the other sections together in talking with the district. So that's my spiel. So, anyway.
Like I mentioned, voting will open next Tuesday for members, so you'll be able to vote online on our website, log in and cast your vote, and we'll make sure we send out an email notification so y'all will know when everything's open. So thank you very much.
Okay, next I would like to recognize our meeting sponsor. Our sponsor for this meeting is Kecken Wood, and Clay Smith is going to come up and give a few words on their behalf. Is that your presentation? Okay.
That's it. Thank you. Like Christina said, my name is Clay Smith. I'm the traffic engineering market leader at Kecken Wood. Appreciate the opportunity to be a sponsor for this meeting. It's our second time being a sponsor in the past 2 years. I'm going to keep it brief. I know this meeting is very busy. We've had a lot going on already, but with Christina about what we need to talk about, some items we wanted to cover, they said, well, this is a young member meeting. Why don't you highlight your young members? So thinking through that, we wanted to do something a little, started talking internally, and we wanted to accentuate the youthfulness of our young members, and they had this idea to use Snapchat filters to make our young members look young. Now, I must say, I have no clue how to use Snapchat, and that made me feel extremely old doing this. So hopefully you'll get a laugh, and hopefully you'll get to learn somebody new at Kecken Wood too at the same time. All right. So picture, I'm going to pause just long enough if you want to get a picture. So starting with Emmeline Yearwood, she's a Georgia Tech grad. She's been with us for 3 years. She is in our utility locations. We got Brian Faulkner, and I'll make sure I point out my favorite pictures too as we go through. But Brian Faulkner, he graduated from Auburn University and has 2.5 years of experience. He's in our community development with a lot of our traffic studies, traffic analysis, and then also does some design work for us. Then we've got Tatum Connell, who's another Auburn University grad, 2.5 years of experience. She's a lot of our designs and doing public outreach events, as well as some of the analysis that goes along with it. We've got Ben Kajivic, 2 years of experience as well. He's in our roadway group. He helps with various designs and has helped write reports and do studies. And now these are my favorite right here. So we've got Landon Hopp. He's a Georgia Southern University roadway, and he assists with mainly design tasks for roadway, sidewalk, intersection improvements. And if you can't see, he's got a baby face underneath. And then same thing with Mike. Mike's a Kennesaw State University graduate, 3 years of experience. He's in our community development Georgia group and helps with design tasks as well. We've got Sam Bulldog from Auburn University, 2.5 years of experience. He's in our community development group and helps with studies, analysis, writing reports. We've got Marcy Early, and I know Marcy's here actually. So Marcy started with us about 4 months ago. She's got 5 years of experience. She went to Fort Valley State and then the University of Arkansas. Paula, University of Akron, 5 years of experience. Worked with volunteer for 5 years. He's in our traffic ops group and helps Alex on the traffic operations submarket. And then Colton, he went to Kennesaw State University. He's the old man of the group with 6 years of experience, and he helps with various design tasks, intersection, roundabout layouts, street lighting. Now, like I said, as we went through this process, I felt very how to apply a filter. So they sent me this picture of me extremely old to hammer home that point. So that's okay. That's what I was gonna say, and it kind of shot. They're like, here's an old picture of you, and I'm like, it's just me with like lighter hair, and they kind of laughed when I said that. But if you have a question about Kecken Wood, there's my contact information. Send me an email, call me if you've got any questions about who we are and what we do. Thanks.
All right, so now we're going to move into the presentation part of this meeting. So this is a special meeting that we do every year known as our Young Member Spotlight. And so we're going to spotlight 4 young members from our section who are going to come up and kind of give a little talk about what they've been working on and what they've learned so far in the industry. So first up, we have Anna Peterson with VHB. Anna is a transportation analyst working on a variety of projects for GDOT and local agencies. She has experience in traffic engineering, operational analysis, and transportation planning. Specifically, her interests include safety analysis, intersection analysis, and transit and multimodal projects. She graduated from Georgia Tech with a BS in civil engineering in 2019 and continued to earn her MS systems in 2020. During her time in school, she was involved in WTS, Chi Epsilon, and the Yellow Jacket Marching Band. After interning with VHB in the summer of 2020, she started full-time in 2021 in VHB's Midtown Atlanta office. Anna will be talking about her experience working on the ARC Regional Safety Strategy that VHB has recently completed.
Hello. Thank you for the introduction. I am currently a traffic engineer at VHB, and they asked us to talk about one of the favorite projects we've worked on, and the first thing that came to mind for me was the Atlanta Regional Commission Regional Safety Strategy. So briefly, I'll talk you through what the strategy is, what are the regional safety issues addressed in the strategy, where they're located in the region, and then we'll talk about the interactive mapping tool, which is where I spent most of my time on the project. Also, I do want to plug the document is now available on the ARC's website as of earlier this week, so you're able to go ahead and get that. Okay. So what is the regional safety strategy? This is an action plan the ARC put together to promote achieving safety goals in a unified way across the region. So we understand the Atlanta region is a very diverse region with all of its different jurisdictions. And this document provides the framework to let them work together to achieve regional goals while understanding the context sensitivity for all of the communities. It's also a proactive strategy, so it's a very forward-looking document, and instead of relying solely on historical crash data, this document provides a predictive, systematic approach to. So what are the regional safety issues? The ARC identified 4 different crash types to look at, which are intersection, roadway departure, pedestrians, and bicycles, and these are building on the 2022 update of the Strategic Highway Safety Plan, and were chosen for this region based on the numbers of severe injury and fatal crashes we were experiencing. And I do also think it's important to point out issues are siloed. So while you work on addressing an intersection or a bike ped crash, you're going to increase the overall safety of the region. So where are the regional safety issues? The next step in the systematic analysis done to develop this document was to figure out where these serious injury and fatal, and then to figure out what characteristics in the built environment and the community were seen frequently, where these hotspots were occurring. So what you're seeing on the screen now is the risk factors the team identified for each of these crash types. And it's important to note it doesn't necessarily represent a causal relationship, but there was a very strong correlation the team found between these risk factors and where definitions for all these risk factors and how they actually impact the risk we can find in the document, which is now on the ARC website. So the next step in the process was trying to determine how we can take that risk and put it in a way that is usable not only for us transportation professionals, but for the decision makers and the public as well. And so we decided to build out an interactive risk mapping tool. So building this out was where I put most of my time on the project, and it's hosted in ArcGIS online right now. And so what you're seeing are 2 maps of the region that are filtered to show either intersections or corridors that have more than 3 of the risk factors listed in the previous slide. Active tool that you can use. And it shows, you can filter it however you would like to. When you get to the website, and my favorite part about the tool is you can also overlay all of the risk factors. So I had all on at once and kind of see what areas in the region are at higher risk for these crashes and where investment might go a little further and make more of a potential impact. And so lastly, I just want to show you how this has been applied in some of the work we've already done. So you're seeing on the screen 2 maps from the Paulding County Comprehensive Transportation Plan that went out in their existing condition. And so the blue heat map on the bottom is historical crash data. And you can see it ranges from the lighter blue, where there's more sparse crashes, all the way up to the pink and red areas, which there's really dense crash history in Paulding County. And that's overlaid with, so 2 things I noticed when I put these maps together for the document is first, you can see where there is high crashes, there are typically high risk. So you can see kind of in the center of the county, right where the city of Dallas is. A lot of historical crashes happen there because it's very high traffic for the region, and you can see that very dent in the center. But what I almost found a little more interesting is seeing where the risk is present and the crash history is not. So that's how this tool can kind of be proactive, and you can find areas that maybe don't have the traffic volume and to show up in high crashes on this map, but there still is opportunity to improve safety. So if you kind of look north on the map, kind of right where Bartow County line is, you can see it's a little lighter blue there, so there's just not as many historical crashes in that rural part of the county, but we're showing very high risk for both intersections and roadway departure, so that might be somewhere that needs to be taken a look at. And with that, that's the link to the strategy. You can find that and the ArcGIS online tool online now, and if we have time, I'd be happy to take a question or two. Yeah.
Is it included for all the major arterials and state routes? It's a really cool application.
I want to say it's all of. I just built the tool. I didn't necessarily touch the data that was sent to me to build the tool, but that's a good thing to look up on the website this afternoon.
Excellent. Okay, next up we have Abraham Pisano. Abraham is a third-year grad at Georgia Tech. He has been with Atlas Technical Consultants since May of 2022. In his free time, Abraham enjoys building Legos and collecting license plates. He will be presenting on the Hinesville Area Metropolitan Planning Organization E.G. Miles Parkway Corridor Study.
Over.
This one?
Abraham.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to be talking about one of the projects that I've been working on for the last couple months, and it's really a project I've gotten my hands dirty with. So it's the E.G. Miles Parkway Corridor. So this is just a little bit about me. My name is Abraham Jesus Pisano. From Atlanta, Georgia. Third year civil engineering undergrad at Georgia Tech. My focus is on transportation operations, a little bit of ITS, and a little bit of kind of AI application into it. I've been working with Atlas Technical Consultants since May of 2022 and intern, and my future plans are to get a master's and PhD. So the project's located in Hinesville, Georgia, in Liberty County. It's a 3.6 mile corridor. It's an existing 5-lane roadway with the center turn lane. ADT is from 18,000 to 21,000 vehicles per day. And a very important fact is that it acts as a connection to Fort Stewart, which is located north of this corridor. And the important thing about this, with the land usage, is that it's a mix of residential and commercial. So our project scope, so in 2017, a road safety audit determined that this is a problematic corridor where it's a high crash roadway. The crash rate is higher than the state average throughout the entire corridor. So we were scoped with a detailed corridor analysis that included data collection, traffic modeling, signal warrants, intersection control evaluation, ICE, and cost estimation and concept drawings. So for the corridor considerations, the number one consideration we took into account was safety, since this was kind of triggered by that roadway safety audit. Another thing was right-of-way, because it's a very, very tight right-of-way. Another thing was kind of the multimodal aspect, because pedestrians weren't comfortable walking on this corridor. In addition to that, also cyclists and transit. And an important fact is that this is a very freight-heavy corridor because of Fort Stewart that's located nearby. And in our counts, we found that 20% of the vehicle traffic was. So for the traffic analysis, we use Synchro 11, GDOT Roundabout tool. We evaluated 3 different peak hours, AM, PM, and noon. And we did this kind of starting off to a future no-build situation. Moving on to one of our like key considerations was a median, a center median round, center. I'm sorry, center roadway median. And with that, a lot of left turns would be. After that, we took a look at each intersection to kind of figure out, okay, how are we going to reroute trips? So evaluation kind of came up with like 4 different options. So reduce conflict U-turns, signalized intersections, unsignalized high T, and the was the existing soft control. And after looking at each intersection, we kind of compiled a list differently for each intersection to give it specialized treatment. So not every intersection, we didn't look at every possible alternative. We kind of narrowed it down and looked at how's the traffic in that specific intersection. So these were from it. And this is the second part. And now to talk through a little bit about the concept layout. So here we start with the southmost part of the corridor, where the green in the middle shows the center median, and those red dots, it's not really clear, are roadway lighting. Roadway lighting would increase or would improve safety for both pedestrians and for vehicles. So it continues on where this is one of the improvements we proposed, where left turns from the minor street can make it a little bit more comfortably without being interrupted by through traffic. It continues on where this is just a part of the median. This is another high T intersection. This is one of the intersections best option. So we proposed additional turn lanes on the minor street, and since heavy vehicles are an important consideration, we did give a little bit more room for those U-turns on the eastbound left turn approach. It continues on. This is one of the places where we suggested an R cut, and the R cut would allow for U-turns to be made from displaced trips. And this continues. Another signal that we suggested with space to make U-turns. This is another place where we took a lot of consideration in, considering that north of this part of the corridor is the location of Fort Stewart. So trips are generated in the morning for Fort Stewart for people going there, and then in the afternoon, a lot of them are going southbound right. So we proposed improvements to add an additional left turn lane on the eastbound approach and an additional right turn lane on the southbound approach. The roadway continues on the other side where the median, and there is a roadway. And this is another point of interest where the client came back to us and asked us to roundabout here, where we proposed an R cut. Another one of our proposed improvements was aligning intersection. And here, south of this is the Liberty Regional Medical Center, and we decided to leave this as a full purposes of ambulances coming in and out. And this is the end of the project. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Deal Street Roundabout and how we went about that. So initially we proposed, the city came back and kind of was like, we kind of want a roundabout here. So we took a look at that, and this was our proposed design for that roundabout. So with the design of this roundabout, we considered heavy vehicles and trucks, so that was taken into account. But a little bit of the problem that came about this was the right-of-way, since it would take a lot of space up. So, and with that, that was presentation. So, any questions?
All right, so next up, we have Hannah Murray with Atkins. Hannah has been with Atkins for almost 3.5 years. What started as a summer internship while attending Georgia Tech turned into a meaningful career. She has served as a designer and engineer on numerous county and state general engineering contracts. Her expertise includes intelligent transportation systems design, traffic signal design, safety improvements design, and roadway design. She has also served as an extension of staff for the GDOT ITS division developing ITS quick response plans. Hannah will be briefly discussing 3 projects that she has worked on that all revolve around safety and design: TAPCO wrong way warning system, road safety audit in District 1, and pedestrian mobility improvement on Beaver Ruin Road.
Hey everyone, I'm Hannah Murray, as she just introduced me as. So a little brief background about myself. I actually come from a long line of civil engineers. Both my parents are civil engineers. I followed in their footsteps, and my sister actually just entered the workforce as well. So definitely runs in the family. It was constant dinner talk. So when I had this opportunity to talk to you guys about a couple of my projects, I was super excited. So when I first entered the traffic world in Georgia, I wanted to learn as much as I could in a variety of fields. So as she design, safety, traffic signal design, and a little bit of roadway design as well. So the best way that I was able to learn was just dive right in head first. So first I'm going to talk about 2 projects that I worked on right after I graduated. That gave me the courage to take on a 3rd role as lead designer for a roadway project in using open roads. So one of the first projects that I was able to call one of my projects was working with the GDOT ITS group over at the TMC. So it was the design of TAPCO wrong way warning systems, 75 managed lanes locations. So essentially these TAPCO warning systems were to be put on at managed lanes ramps. So that way drivers going up the wrong way would be alerted, hey, you're going the wrong way, to help limit those wrong way events. So definitely to improve safety. And from my understanding, they have recently been installed on those ramps. And actually this weekend, I was driving back from a mountain trip on the 75 managed lanes, and I was like, hey, one of my locations is coming up. And I looked over and I could see my signs on the ramps that I designed. And one of the coolest things about this job, working in traffic engineering, is that you get to see the safety work you do out in the real world, which I think is amazing. Of what I've done out in the real world. So this brings me to a second one of my projects that I got to see from start to finish. Is I was responsible for attending and writing one of the road safety audit reports back in 2020 in District 1 on Lawrenceville Highway. And I helped come up with a solution for an intersection that was minor stop controlled, that was fully open, and we helped come to the conclusion of a reduced conflict U-turn, or RCUT, that actually had a safety benefit cost ratio of 66, which is extremely high when GDOT likes to fall in that range of at least like 5 to 10. 66 is extremely high. So I helped come up with a sketch as part of the road safety audit report, and then it got passed on to someone else and turned into a quick response project that was built within the next year. And I actually live in Lilburn, where this intersection is. It's Luxomny Road and Lawrenceville Highway. And every time I go see it, I can't help but tell anyone and everyone, hey, I helped this look like this intersection look this way, and actually change people's lives, and just look at the benefit that it's bringing to the community and that road. And I think that's so awesome about this job. You get to see what you do make an impact. And so finally, these 2 projects kind of helped me get going on a 3rd project where I was the lead designer for a roadway project that actually originated from an RSA back in 2016. Not to age myself, but that's when I graduated high school. So it originally an RSA that someone else did, and then got turned into a concept report. And then I eventually took it over as lead designer for this project, and it's in Ruin Road. So again, up in my neck of the woods in District 1, and then improving pedestrian mobility. So updating ramps, making sure there's crosswalks are refreshed, And again, every time I drive by, I can't help but tell people, hey, my project is getting let to construction in 2023. So hopefully in 2024, I'll be able to say the same thing, like, hey, this is my project. And I helped get it to look like this, which I think is amazing. And I'm sure everyone in this room, your guys' work, your ideas, and your designs are in the real world. People who've been here doing stuff for 20 years or 2 years. I think it's just an incredible profession, traffic engineering, that what you work on, you get to see make a difference. And I think that's really amazing. So I will open the floor to any questions.
All right, and last up, we have Alyssa Gaston with Kimley Horn. Alyssa is a consultant at Kimley Horn who works on GDOT SIGOP Southwest program and GDOT Safety Design Services program. She is a graduate from the University of Alabama and started working on. In her free time, she loves traveling to national parks and running half marathons.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alyssa Gaston, traffic consultant at Kimley Horn. So excited to be with you guys today. I'll go ahead and get started with a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and then my family made its way over to Birmingham, Alabama, where I lived before attending the University of Alabama, where I majored in civil engineering and got a minor in transportation engineering and geographic information systems. And then, like mentioned earlier, my free time, love traveling to different national parks and run lots of half marathons as well. Sometimes like to combine the two and make a 2-in-1 in the trip. But since graduating Alabama, I started at Kimley Horn last summer. My primary focus has been signal timing with GDOT SIGOP Southwest contract, and then also working on the GDOT safety contract as well. So 2 projects I would love to share with you all today is one signal timing project and one safety project that I've been plugged in on in the last year. So the first one is a full retiming project that took place in Columbus, Georgia on SR 85. During our initial screening, Columbus had some of the top 10 bottlenecks in the region. So this whole city of Columbus, we ended up retiming approximately 100 signals. I was tasked with retiming SR 85, which had 15 coordinated signals on it, and one uncoordinated signal that we field fine-tuned just to the proximity of the ones that were on us. So we started this project by going down to Columbus and doing data collection. So that was going into the cabinet and doing cabinet inventory. We also took grades, pedestrian clearances, vehicle clearances, just to make sure we had all the data that we needed in order to develop our timing plans. After we got everything we needed, came back to the office and started developing those timing plans. So you can see here are some of the things that we did to put all that together. The most important one I think we did was adjusting our cycle length. We decided to lower our cycle length 20 to 30 seconds, depending on the time of day plan. The proximity of some of the signals on SR 85 to better serve those side streets, pedestrians, and just to make progression better overall. After we got everything together, finished all of our calculations and building our databases, we went back down to Columbus for a week to do field fine tuning. So we just spent a whole entire week in the car driving up and down the corridor, which sounds a lot funner than it is a lot funner than it sounds. So what I think was super unique about doing our field fine tuning is, so I got to stay on the corridor all week, and we switched out a senior person every single day to be in the car with me. Everyone's signal times differently, so it was good to get all kinds of perspectives and techniques on the road. So by the end of the week, it was field fine-tuned super well. But there's so many challenges that you get when you're in the field doing your fine-tuning that you don't necessarily see on Google Maps, of course. So saw some challenges while field fine-tuning that we didn't think we're gonna have. And then here are some of the results that we got. So once we got back into the office, we pulled some post-implementation data. This is for the weekday. We pulled our data from RIDIS. So this is travel time index. So it's comparing our free flow speed to the actual travel time. So pre-implementation are those blue lines, our post-implementation are the red lines, and the closer that is to 1, the closer it is to traveling at free flow speed. So those red lines, we brought those back down to 1, which was super great. And then here are weekend results, which showed even more improvement than the weekday did. So we're really happy with our results for this project. And then the second study I want to hit on is the Trinity Avenue TE study. So my Kimley-Horn team, we served as a sub for AECOM on this project. This project originally came up with the GDOT Ops Improvement Contract, but due to the crash frequency and severities on this corridor, got kicked over to safety. And we were able to evaluate so many different things for this. My primary role for this TE study was going through the crash analysis. So after digging through over 1,000 crashes that occurred between 2013 and 2019, we were able to clean all that crash data just to make sure, hey, maybe some of this was miscoded, maybe some of them were plugged in as the wrong location. So about 300 of those ended up getting tossed, but we were left with 724 crashes on a year period. And as you can see, lots of side swipes, rear ends, angles, and hit parked vehicle, which is pretty common for this like urban area. Trinity Avenue is located in downtown Atlanta, not too far away from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So we took all of this crash data. Once we had it nice and cleaned, we built collision diagrams for all of our intersections. So this is just one of the 8 that we built them for. This is the number of side swipes that we see here, and then those severities of those angle crashes. So kind of once we put together what was going on out here, we took our field visit. So you can see me, it was freezing this day. So we went out, and with all of our crash data and everything we put together, we got to go out there and evaluate those existing conditions and see what safety measures were already out there, what improvements we can make to do this better. We're wrapping up this study right now, and hopefully we'll be able to see those improvements out there shortly. So that's all I have today. And thanks guys.